In this 249 Marathon Project Week 1 update, I'll talk about all my training sessions from Week 1, and I'll discuss how they went. I'll also talk about my nutrition and hydration. I'll talk about my strength and conditioning. And if you stick around to the end, I'll talk about the 2 lessons that I learned this week. Real briefly, what is the 249 Project? If you haven't heard what it is, I'm a 55-year-old man looking to run a sub 250 marathon in Valencia in December 2024. I've come close. My closest so far has been Manchester this year, where I ran 254. But I'm going to put my heart and soul into this one, and hopefully we can get a few others to join in and we can do this together. If you like this content, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd subscribe down below, share it with your friends, comment, get involved in the project. It's a worthwhile endeavor. It doesn't cost you anything. You won't get emails or anything like that. It's just a way that you can help me out and spread the word about the 249 project. Monday was a 10K easy effort run. Really nice day for it. I wore my Nike Revolution 6 trainers, a nice non-plated, inexpensive shoe, basically for easy pace runs. Nothing spectacular. Just an everyday trainer. Tuesday was a non-running day. Went for a walk, got my steps in, got my yoga done. It was a real pleasant day. Wednesday was an 8K steady effort run. I wore my Nike Zoom Tempo Next Percents. Love those as a good trainer for some of the steady, faster stuff. Overall, the pace was 4:29 per K or 7:13 per mile. It's a real good indicator of steady for me, and I was expecting it to maybe be a little bit slower, but steady is comfortably hard. I didn't look at the watch to check the pace or anything like that until the end. So it was all about checking my breathing. Was I able to do a 2-3 breathing pattern for the most part all the way around. So yeah, it was a good run. On Thursday, it was another 10K easy effort. I wore Saucony endorphin shifts. Again, another relatively inexpensive everyday trainer. Felt good, felt great on the run actually. Friday was another rest day. I did go for a walk with some friends, got my steps in once again, felt great. Everything in week 1 was going perfect. Saturday, things started to get a little bit hairy. So I didn't get out for my run until a little bit later than I would have liked to. It was about 11 a.m. Temperature was about 31 degrees, and I had a tempo run. 2K easy, 6K at marathon pace, 2K easy. In this phase of the plan, my hard effort is going to be marathon pace. As we get through it, it'll be a little bit quicker than that, but at the minute, that's where it is. I didn't make it. I didn't hit my targets. I wasn't too far off, but what I did find was as I went, it got worse and worse. My cadence was slow. My pace slowed down. I was wearing my Nike Alphafly 2s, which I've never raced in, never really liked them as a racing shoe, and I wouldn't wear them on anything say longer than a 10 miler. But they're a good shoe for fast hard effort runs. When I got to 7.7K, I don't know if you followed me on Instagram or not, but I ended up having to stop and throw up. It was just a brutal run. And I finished it off. My last K was 4:20 per K, which is way off marathon pace. However, it is what it is. And later on in this video, you'll see one of my lessons learned. If you stick around to the end, you'll see what it was. And that was from this particular session. So tough old day, got it done. 2K back to the house and some recovery and what have you. But yeah. And then Sunday was 16K, long, slow distance run. Loved it. Did a big loop around the town. One big loop, which is nice. got some hills in it and what have you, but it was just a long, slow distance run. I took it really easy. I think my overall pace was 5:10 or 5:20 or something like that. For week one, I averaged about 1,800 calories a day, which was bang on where I wanted to be. Of that, there was 149 grams of protein, 175 grams of carbs, and 53 grams of fat on average per day. So very successful, eating to plan, good discipline. I loved it. I ended up dropping 3.6 pounds of body weight, which is 1.7 kilograms. Very happy with that first week. Now, when it comes to body weight, that's not going to happen every week. That's the culmination of maybe 2 months of non-disciplined eating, maybe being a little bit heavier than I normally would be. So that 3.6 is basically kind of normalizing myself. That won't happen every week. So I would expect 1 to 2 pounds every week if I can stay consistent, which I should, I hope. And uh, yeah, so hydration in this climate, it's mid to low 30s just about every day. I'm drinking about 3.875 milliliters of water every day. You need it. You need it in this climate. So nothing spectacular there. That's fairly normal for me. For strength and conditioning, I did my 20-minute workout every single morning, Monday through Friday, and no issues at all. Right now, I'm starting at 35 reps for each exercise and a 90-second plank. As I go through, I'll work my way up to about 50 reps, but that might be maybe 4 or 5 weeks in. Yoga is another area that I didn't quite hit my targets. I like to do 3 days a week of 20 minutes of yoga. I only got one night in, and that's something that I'll work on this week. It was a great week. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm really pleased with how my body's adapting. I like where I am as far as my weight goes. I'm enjoying the disciplined eating. It really makes you think twice about your meals and planning your meals and doing the right stuff when you're shopping and avoiding picking up things that you don't really need in your diet. So that's just key for me, is just to make things simple, and so far so good. I'm enjoying it. So now for my lessons learned. I've been running a long time. I've been running in the heat here in Spain for over a year now. I was surprised at how much the heat took out of me on my tempo run. I thought I was well heat adapted, and I am. I'm pretty well heat adapted, and for whatever reason, I prefer to run in the heat as opposed to running in the cold. So I didn't think twice about doing a tempo session in 31 degrees, although I did think it was a little bit cooler than that. So back in 2017, I had some heart surgery to repair my heart, and since that, my heart rate has been very low. And so my heart rate zone 5 starts at 137. My heart rate when I started this Saturday's run in the heat started around 142. So it was way above where it should have been for that easy section of the run. As I went and I got my 2K done easy and I picked up the pace, my first K was 3:55 into the tempo, which was good. Maybe a little bit fast, but it was a slight downhill. As I went, 408, 408, 409, 415 or something like that. When I got to 7.5K, I was heaving, I was gagging, I was in a really bad way. Lesson one is check the weather, and if it's gonna be into the 30s, get out early, get your run done early. I have 1K rep interval session Tuesday this week. I will go and try to get out early and just see if I respond better than I did on Saturday's tempo session. Lesson two is I only got one yoga session done. Now this is simple stuff. It's only a 20-minute quick session. It's so helpful. It stretches all the bits that I know I need stretched, and there's really no excuse for it. So my lesson in that sense is to work to the plan. I have it on my plan to do it. I just didn't do it. It got caught up in other things. I lost track of time. So just work to the plan. And so I'll make a point to not miss a yoga session again. That's it. That's a wrap on week 1. Thanks for sticking around. I will chat to you on Friday.